everyone. So excited and welcome to day 2 of our 5-day challenge. So what is our challenge for today? Yesterday we started to build a little bit of strength with our wall sits, so focused a little bit more on that exercise piece of stress management. And today we are talking all about nutrition and having a balanced plate or a plate portion challenge. So you may be asking, what does that look like? So what I want from the challenge today is I want you to take a picture of one of your meals with a balanced plate of food. And when I'm talking about a balanced plate of food, I'm talking about having a protein, a carb, a fat, and some of those micronutrients or our veggies to really round out your plate. And this can be for any of the 4 or any of your 3 meals, or if you if you have more meals, I know some people have 5 smaller meals per day, whatever that looks like for you, I want you to provide a picture underneath this live of your balanced and portioned out plate of food. Now, I know I did a live on this about a month or so ago, but I'm gonna go a little bit into detail today so you know what and how to create a balanced plate of food, and I'm going to give you some inspiration for your breakfast options as well as for lunch and dinner. And I know breakfast always tends to be the hardest. It's like, how do I get my vegetables into breakfast to make sure I get all of my servings for the day? And don't worry, I've got some fun options for you to try. So quickly going over, we have a full plate here. And when I'm talking about your portions and having a balanced plate, a good way that I like to think about it, and so you don't have to have any measuring or anything, is you've got your plate, you cut your plate in half, straight down the middle. On one of your halves, we'll cut this half in half. So you've got a quarter, and a half. Now, first quarter, I want this to be your protein. So this can be anything, whether it's a plant-based protein or a meat-based protein. So I've got some edamame here. Having that in a quarter of my plate is actually a good amount of protein. That can be a good thing to include. Or I also have a little piece of chicken here, which you can include as well in that 1/4. And then the second quarter, as I mentioned, is going to be your carbohydrates. So we're really breaking down kind of the macronutrients of the plate, and then we'll get into those micronutrients, which is going to be your different vegetables and vitamins and minerals. So, we talked about protein. So the second piece, or the second quarter, so if we're talking about just this half of the plate, we did half of it protein, second half carbs. Carbs, there's lots of great options. You can do brown rice, you can do quinoa, so any of your grains, your pastas, even potatoes. If you do roasted potatoes or sweet potatoes, that's another good portion for your carbohydrate focused section. And then the second half of the plate that we've got, so this entire half, I want this to be filled with vegetables and with fruit that have a lot of vitamins and minerals. So I've got some options here: tomatoes, different greens. You can do broccoli, asparagus, anything that tickles your fancy. But again, we're really looking for, and again, without having to do any measuring or anything like that, you're looking for half your plate to have, your good vitamins and minerals. So mainly different vegetable types. You're looking for a quarter of it to have your protein. So anything plant-based and or animal-based. And then you also have your carb section. Now you might be asking, Alexa, what about fats? That is the third macronutrient Fats are, you need a much smaller portion of fats actually for each of your meals, and it's really just 2 tablespoons usually. And again, we're all about not trying to measure anything out, and how do we use what we know and what we have available to us to help us with our portions. So 2 fingers are actually a great way to figure out about how much 2 tablespoons are. So, you can really just place them on the tip of your plate, and that's about how much either dressing or avocado, or if you're gonna have like peanut butter or sunflower butter, whatever it might be, you're looking for about just 2 tablespoons. And again, if you need to, you can kind of use your 2 fingers as a good way to portion that out without having a tablespoon around. Now, you may be asking, it's 7:30 in the morning. What do I do for breakfast if I want to kind of get this done right away in the morning and make sure I'm still getting a balanced plate of food in the morning? So one of my absolute favorite ways to make sure I get my greens in the morning and to make sure I'm having kind of a balanced breakfast is definitely to have a smoothie. So this is just the starting of a smoothie, not a full smoothie yet that I'll be having. But a smoothie is a great way. You can hide in some great nutrients via fruit and via vegetables and or some green powders. I've got some of my favorites here. And again, having your protein powder in there, and again, whether that's plant-based or whey-based is totally up to you and into your body. You've got your some type of milk or water, again, plant-based or dairy-based, totally fine. You're gonna have some fruit in there. I love to use frozen fruit. It's a great way. You already need to have something frozen for your smoothie, so you can just throw that in there. And then, as I mentioned, I always put in my green powders, and or you can put in some of your greens if you've got physical greens too. And then finishing out with some type of fat to really keep you full. So whether that is, again, one of your nut butters, or it can be avocado, that's a fun way to add in some fats. You can also do flaxseed or chia seeds, lots of options. And again, that is one of my favorite ways to make sure I'm getting kind of a full rounded breakfast. If smoothies are not for you, or if it's not quite warm where you're at yet, another great option is going to be something kind of egg-based, and having eggs, again, in that quarter portion, so 1 or 2 eggs, and then having some greens to go with your eggs. So whether that's sauteed spinach, or maybe broccoli, or maybe you're doing an egg scramble and you've got different vegetables directly in there, that's another great way. And then always, you can have your piece of toast or some type of carb. Sweet potato is one of my favorites in the morning to include in my breakfast as well. So again, just to reiterate, today's challenge, day 2, is all about having a portioned plate of food. So really getting in the mindset of, how do I balance out my meals so I am not only going to feel full, but also, be excited about what you're eating and really be able to get all of the nutrients that you need in each meal in order to keep your energy up. And that's really what we want from our food. It's all about fuel for our body. And so starting off with this day 2, I really want you to just think a little bit about how you're building your plates of food, whether it be for yourself or for your family, and just start to incorporate, all of the macronutrients, as well as getting in those micronutrients in the form of different fun vegetables that bring you all of the vitamins and all of the minerals. So again, how do we get those points? So important. Make sure you are posting a photo of completing the challenge. So today, you don't even have to be in it if you don't want to. Take a picture of your plate. Of course, I would love to see you. So if you want to be in it and kind of take a quick pic with your plate, I would love that. Or drinking your smoothie in the morning if you're using it for breakfast. And then I want you to tell us how you're feeling while you post that picture, or while you're completing the challenge. How did it feel? How was it? Do you usually have a pretty portioned or pretty balanced plate of food, or is this something that you had to kind of think about and change your mindset a little bit? And then I want you to post on your own wall, feed, or story and tag me in it. Let's get more people excited about the 5-day challenge. And with that, definitely invite your friends. Bring them into the group. Let's have them join the challenge. It isn't too late. You can always have them join today and they can go back and do yesterday, or they can just start from day 2 and go forward with us. It's never too late to join the 5-day challenge. So again, everyone, I am Alexa Hanchad. Thank you so much for joining me for today's live announcement of day 2. Our challenge is plate portion. I want to see the amazing pictures that you guys have of all of the food and everything that you're going to choose to have today. And I will see you right here tomorrow for day 3.